Hey everyone, welcome to Break Time with Pastor V. Welcome to Break Time with Pastor V, and it is the day after the guilty verdict that has been found that many of us stressed about. Some of us didn't stress. It's amazing. It's amazing that we live in a time in which we hoped for a guilty verdict. We thought it might be a guilty verdict. Everything looked like it would be a guilty verdict. But we were hesitant to believe that it would happen, right? I don't know about you, but that was sort of my position with it. And so yesterday was a day of up and down with me and trying to figure things out and trying to stay hopeful and yet not getting my hopes up too high for this guilty verdict in the George Floyd murder case. But that's where I was. And so I want to kind of talk about that a little more today. Am I happy about it? Yes, I am. But I found that, as I shared yesterday, that Philippians 4, 6, and 7 was a great comfort, and I experienced God being able to give me peace that passes my understanding in preparation for the verdict, and that he was able to keep my heart, my emotions, my mind. And so it's a great thing, always a great thing to experience the word of God happening in your lives. And so I actually thank God for the verdict. Here's something else, and you're probably not going to hear this from many other pastors, but oftentimes as pastors and as parents, one of the things I thank God for this verdict is that it didn't leave me to explain or to have to attempt to explain why. So often, and I think this is a problem, a challenge for a lot of millennials in their faith and trusting God, we see things happen and we wonder why. Where are you, God? Where I'm preaching that God is a God of justice. God is a God of, he hears us, that he comforts us, that he hates sin, and then yet sometimes it seems as if God isn't listening or God isn't responding. And so when a young person or as a kid asks a parent, why didn't God heal sister so-and-so? Why didn't God cause a guilty verdict to happen? So you're left, I don't want to say holding the bag, but oftentimes as if we have to defend God. Now the truth of the matter is we learn that we don't have to defend God, that he's able to handle the question why, and oftentimes he doesn't have an answer, or we wait and see as it plays out. But for yesterday, I am one who is grateful that I didn't even have to do all of that. And so hopefully some other pastors would admit that they may have felt the same way. And another thing that I found myself, and I'm just kind of reviewing this, and hopefully you can relate, when I was listening to the verdict, and I felt when it came, and guilty on all three charges, it made me feel like I matter as a black man, that the legal system finally acknowledged who I am, and that it finally worked for my favor, or for the favor of the African American man, the black man. So I felt that, and so I celebrate that. And at the same time, I realized that it really is just the beginning. It's really just one victory, I guess you would call it, the victory of having been acknowledged. It's a huge victory in policing, hopefully, and the deterioration or the changing of the blue wall, that maybe it's not so silent anymore, where an environment can prevail in which officers, because not all officers are bad, in which good officers can speak up. are encouraged to speak up and to challenge a corrupt system. And so the other thing I thought would happen to me was while the verdict was being read, my wife said, you know, I kind of feel bad for him. And she looked at me and says, do you feel bad? And you know, I'm the preacher, right? I'm the pastor. I'm the guy with the big heart. I'm the guy who's, you know, full of this empathy. And you know what? I said, no, I don't feel bad. I don't feel bad for him at all. And I had to begin to evaluate that because in my mind, I'm hearing that love doesn't rejoice at the calamity of others. But my emotions and everything about me said, well, he just got what he deserved, and I hope he gets the 40 years, not just the guilty end. And I haven't changed that position yet, so y'all pray for me. But then I begin to think, well, he you know, he had a wife. I don't know if he has children. And begin to think about this from their perspective of maybe their loss. But then when I compare that, I hope I'm not just rattling. I hope I'm expressing things that you guys feel too. But when I compare that to the loss of the Floyd family, who has a little girl who will never see her daddy grow up, who will never be walked down the aisle, I just didn't feel so bad. And I don't rejoice at that it happened to him, but I do rejoice that he has been found guilty and that the system worked. So I guess that's all I really have for break time today. Hopefully I don't sound like I'm venting, but here's the deal. Now is the time when we have to apply the Word of God as I share my struggles with you and allowing that application to happen in my life of feeling justice served, yet there's so much more to do, standing for God, standing for righteousness, and yet seeing that there are others who will feel the pain of the righteous decision. Hopefully, does that make sense to anybody? Y'all there? Say hello to me, somebody. Let me know if I'm just babbling. So anyway, that's where I am today. And I thank you for spending break time with Pastor V. I pray that I'm expressing some of your emotions, some of your feelings as well as you go through this whole thing. And so with that, I say God bless you. Thank you for tuning in to Pastor V. Tomorrow is Thursday, and I won't be here, but I will be here Friday. And let's see what the Lord has for us. Be encouraged, my brother. If you're struggling like me, here's the things you can know. That God's got you, that's going to be all right, and that if we process all of this, God is okay with us processing this and our emotions if our desire is to please Him. All righty? Have a great day. Thank you, and I will see you Friday, same time, 1 p.m., right here, Break Time with Pastor V. Have a good day.